What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sasco from the Sasco Factory. Today I'm going to bring to you the new addition to the channel, which is called Rate the Lyrics. And within Rate the Lyrics, I'll be rating the lyrics from each artist is from the late 2000s and the early 2000s. And I'll be doing it from a poetic and figurative language standpoint. So stay tuned and enjoy. Hi, welcome to the Sasco Factory, where things and objects get produced at a high quality rate. Enjoy. So the first set of lyrics I'm gonna be going into is an early 2000 songs that goes by the name Why by Jadakiss. And it goes something like this. Why Holly have to let a white man pop her to get an Oscar? Why Denzel had to be crooked before he took it? Why they didn't make a CL6 with a clutch? And if you don't smoke, why the hell you reaching for my Dutch? So in this song, he using many forms of figurative language. He using symbolism, consonants, and metonymy. And this long word, I ain't gonna say it. It's spelled like this: SYNECDOCHE. And puns. So many of you probably don't really go into music and dissect it like this, but these are the things he used within his rap. They show you that he used a lot of poetry within his rhymes. But let's go into a few things what he said in here. He said why Holly had to let a white man pop to get her Oscar. So basically, if y'all know, in the movie he making reference to a movie where Holly had to have sex with a white man and she got an Oscar for that, which is an award. And he said why Denzel had to be crooked before he took it, meaning he making reference to an Oscar again. So he is saying basically Denzel had to play a crooked cop in Training Day to basically take the Oscar. But all these other movies he designed was way better and made him a bigger star than that, when he was a legit character. Why they didn't make the CL6 with a clutch is he making reference to a car. And if you don't smoke, why the hell you reaching for my Dutch? Dutch is a particular thing they call weed. It's back in the day, this is what they used to call weed, Dutch. Or, you know, they got many forms of names for these thing weeds and blunts, all type of stuff. But yeah, that's what he used. So for his rhyme pattern and for all his use of figurative language, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5. Yep, 5 out of 5. The late 2000 song that I'm gonna be doing right now is Drake Forever. Let's see what he said in these set of lyrics. Like a sprained ankle, boy, I ain't nothing to play with. Started off loco, but thanks to all haters. I know G5 pilots on a first name basis. In your city, faded off the brown. Nino. She insists she got more class. We know. So in this song, Drake uses allusions, imagery, and sarcasm metaphors to complete his lyrics. So these are the poetic and figurative language views he are using within these rhymes. So he said he's like a sprained ankle, boy, he ain't nothing to play with. So basically, Drake is comparing himself to a sprained ankle. A sprained ankle is something that hurts. So basically, he said he hurts. Basically, how you feel in the same way a sprained ankle will feel. He comparing himself to that. Okay. And he says, started off local, but thanks to all haters. So basically, it's really not a bar. It's really not sarcasm, but he basically telling you he rose to fame because of his haters. G5 pilots, I know G5 pilots on the first name basis. Don't understand why he put that in there. And it said, in your city faded off the brown. Nino. You don't understand what he mean about that if you don't watch the movie New Jack City. Nino Brown was a notorious drug dealer in the movie New Jack City. So he basically said, your city's faded off the brown because Brown had crack cocaine pushing throughout that whole city from a big old apartment building, renting it like it was a business. And he said, and she insists she got more class. We know this is where he used sarcasm. Pretty much in this, he basically saying the girl say she got more class. But he said we know, because meaning multiple people probably took turns and did something with her. But that's where he uses sarcasm. He used the imagery when he basically said the city is fading off the brown. No, he used illusion when he said the city is faded off the brown. And then he used a metaphor comparing himself to that sprained ankle. So for these set of Drake lyrics, I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 5 for all his creativity. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 5. Okay, let's hop into the next one. The next song I'm gonna be doing is from the early 2000s. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys heard this one. It's called Renegade. It's by Jay-Z, Eminem, but I'm gonna be dissecting Eminem's part. Sorry about that. So let's go into it. He said, "Now who's the king of these rude, ludicrous, lucrative lyrics?" Man, he said a whole lot of stuff in here, but let's go finish reading on. He said, "Who could inherit the title, put the youth in hysterics, using his music to steer it, sharing his views and his merits? But there is a huge interference. They saying you shouldn't hear it. Maybe it's hatred I spew. Maybe it's food for the spirit." So he had a lot of things that rhyme, and he created a lot of imagery and a lot of stuff with his words. He did a lot in his rhymes right here. I'm gonna read it again. I don't think y'all understood how good these lyrics was. "Now who's the king of these rude, ludicrous, and lucrative lyrics? Who could inherit the title, put the youth in hysterics, using his music to steer it, sharing his views and his merits? But there's a huge interference. They saying you shouldn't hear it. Maybe it's hatred I spew. Maybe it's food for the spirit." So in these rhymes, he uses illusion, idiom, and symbolism. So he uses all these three things, but inside these rhymes, he uses these three major components to make his rhymes stand out to a lot of people. Pretty much, he's basically using the lyrics. He's basically saying his music is the reason why kids are up or they begging for more stuff like this. And he's saying he using his music, saying he basically compared his music to a car right here. When he said you using his music to steer it. It's basically he's stirring them up and he's steering the whole world with his music. And he goes into a lot of things saying, but there's hate, but it's a huge interference, making reference to all the people in the media and people who are haters, saying it's a huge interference. They are saying you shouldn't hear it. Maybe it's hatred I spew. Maybe it's food for the spirit. So basically he's saying his rhymes are food for the spirit. It's that good. And like I said, he uses illusion, idiom, and symbolism. So in this Eminem set of lyrics, I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 5 because although he didn't have that many figurative language within his rhymes, he made everything come together with just these three figurative language. Just these three figurative languages he used within his rhymes made the song be like peaches and cream in the mouth. So I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 5. Yeah, this one right here is funny to me because I know a lot of y'all probably heard this and y'all was like, man, this joint slap. But let's see if it's really creative and let's see how many figurative languages he are using in his bars and these lyrics. Gucci Man, My Kitchen. That's the song I'm gonna be dissecting from the late 2000s. Whole lot of perk, whole lot of green, whole people white, large amount of beans, got them collard greens, sell a lot of things. 4 + 4, dog, that's a chicken wing. Trapping in the job, money in the vault. So that's how he ended it. And in this he using aphoria and imagery and symbolism. These are the things he's using inside his rhymes. A lot of these things rhyme. He using aphoria. Basically, what that is basically he's starting a lot of bars off at the same way. For example, whole lot of perk, whole lot of green, whole heap of white. So most of his things are starting the same exact. Most of his bars and lyrics are starting the same exact way. So that's why he's using that. And the imagery, he's basically showing you what he's selling. And these things are reference to a lot of you dudes call in the hood drugs. But y'all give him nicknames for it. And then symbolism. It's catchy. You can nod your head to it when you play the beat with it. But I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 for creativity. 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. Yeah. Next one. So this song right here, and these set of lyrics we gonna be dissecting next is Big Boy verse from ATL Aliens, which is part of the group Outkast. So let's jump into it. So he said, well, it's the MI cookie letter, ain't no one better. And when I'm on a microphone, you better wear your sweater. Cause I'm cooler than a polar bear's toenail. Oh hell, there he go again, talking that shit. Bending corners like I was a curve, I struck a nerve. Ooh. Sorry about that. I struck a nerve. So yeah, he uses a lot of poetic and figurative language within his rhymes. So he uses metaphors and similes, metonymies and puns. So let's go deep into some of these things. He says, and when I'm on a microphone, you better wear your sweater, cause I'm cooler than a polar bear's toenail. He said he's cooler than a polar bear's toenail. That's when I first heard this, I said, I had to think about it. A polar bear is in Antarctica, most of them. And they are very, very cold. And that place they dwell in is very, very cold. So he's saying he's that cold. But he's not making reference to being cold in that sense. He's basically saying he's that good. It's a slang. And he said, you better wear a sweater. And oh hell, there he go again, talking that shit. Bending corners like I was a curve, I struck a nerve. So he basically says, this is where he gets real creative. Bending corners like I was a curve. So he's basically making reference to when he's driving his car and he's bending corners like a curve. But what's so different about what's so creative about a corner? When you go to the end of a corner, where it's at the bottom of it, it's a curve. So he is using so much within his rhymes that you have to really sit back and just think about all what he's putting together. Bending corners like I was a curve. So the corners have a curve in it. And he said he's bending corners with his ride, because they like the Cadillacs back then. But he using a whole lot. He using puns on this part. Then he said I struck a nerve. So these are basically everything inside this bar rhymed. So he said struck a nerve, curve, all the bars is like coming together. Oh hell and toenails go together. That's lyrics that rhyme. Letter, better. Yeah, he got so much stuff that rhyme. So I'm gonna rate a 5 out of 5 for Big Boy's verse on ATL Aliens. He uses metaphors, similes, and metonymy and puns. Real creative. So the next song I'm gonna be dissecting is from the lyrics of J. Cole, False Prophets. He said, yeah, life is a balance. You lose your grips, you can slip into an abyss. No doubt, you see these niggas tripping ego, in charge of every move. He's a star, and we can't look away due to the days he caught our hearts. So you can tell he's basically using a lot of figurative language in here. It's the figurative language he are using is idiom, imagery, and anaphoria and puns. He's using it to talk about somebody that he pretty much idolized and liked him and really paid homage to at one time because of his great lyrics. Basically he's saying this dude is falling into an abyss. He's tripping and he's becoming something he never was. And he said he's a star, so we ain't gonna be able to turn away our heart because we remember basically all the good stuff he did in the past. So we think everything he do now, even though it's bad, we still gonna like it. That's why he said he caught our hearts. Meaning, when you catch somebody's hearts, in this sense, he's basically saying you gonna always gravitate to him, whatever he come out with. The name of the song is very funny. False Prophets. He said, your life is a balance. Yeah, life is a balance. You lose your grip, you can slip into an abyss. That's one of the things that rhymes. Grip and slip into an abyss. So basically, you losing grip on something, or this in this sense, this dude losing grip on his life as he's waiting in his balance, and then he slipped into an abyss. Meaning he slipped into a crazy mindset. And the mindset he's making reference to is his tripping ego. So I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 5 for his creativity to basically trying to explain why this dude is going off and why he's a false prophet. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. This is another early 2000 song. It's kind of very detailed, a lot of rhymes. I like this song really a lot. So let's go into it. This by Benny Siegel, Benny Mac, from the early 2000 song. He starts the song off saying, "Mac, bitch." I move blocks and pounds. I move out with small blocks and towns. I move out with small blocks and pounds. And I take everything to the table, bag and rock it down. Fuck who watching now. All these things rhyme. But like he said, he using idiom and youth enough furia. He using that basically by saying, I move blocks. I move blocks. I move out. He's basically using the same. He's starting the song out with the same exact way. I move blocks. I move out. I move out. He said it again. So basically, he used in an idiom. He uses that a lot. And tautology. That's another thing he used. He was very creative on basically showing you that he's talking about selling drugs, but he didn't actually go out and say that he was doing these things. And then Glocks. Anybody know that's a nickname for a particular weapon, a handgun. And then table and rock it down. That's going into drugs again. Fuck who watching now. Alright, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 for his creativity. The rhyme pattern was good, but he was creative, but he could have did better when it comes to dissecting and going more in depth when it comes to selling the things he was selling. This right here, I get mad as heck at this song. This song is really garbage, but I'm gonna rate it anyways. This is something he's, oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. The name of the song is Gotti by Tekashi 6ix9ine. Y'all heard of this dude. A lot of y'all dudes hate him because y'all say he ratted, but I don't hate him because of that part. I hate him. I don't hate him at all. I hate him because these lyrics. I hate his lyrics. That's what I'm gonna say. But let's go into it. Cooking up, speed it up, double cup, Zenny cup, boot it up, molly up, break it down. Break it up, cop it up, then serve it up. So he's using FMOI and tautology. That's all he uses inside these rhymes. Basically, you got multiple things that rhyme with cup, up, and up. And he didn't use no creativity whatsoever. But he basically let you know he talking about drugs. A lot of these young rappers, this is early 2000, late 2000 song. You're going to hear a lot about drinking and double cupping, and they're talking about this thing, codeine and Molly. You're going to hear a lot about that in today's rappers. I'm 23, and today's rappers, I can't get jiggy with them. A lot of them. You got a lot of them that can't rap really. You got a lot of rappers that can rap, but we ain't gonna go into that. That's for another story. But I'm gonna rate this. I rated originally this a 1.5 out of 5 because he uses some figurative language, but his creativity using these figurative languages, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5, ladies and gentlemen. This next song is a early 2000 song that came out sometime in around 2003, 2005, around that area. But it's 50 Cent Mini Man. And these bars or these lyrics, he goes into a lot. So let's go into them. I'm the diamond in the dirt that ain't been found. I'm the underground king and I ain't been crowned. When I rhyme, something special happened every time. I'm the greatest, something like something like Ali in his prime. So he uses metaphor and assemblies. He said, I'm a diamond in the dirt that ain't been crowned. That ain't been found. So he's using a lot of metaphor. He's using metaphors and simile in his whole song. But he says, I'm the diamond in the dirt that ain't been found. So he's comparing himself to the diamond. that's inside of a dirt. He's basically saying he's rare and special. Well, he's gonna further explain it inside the rap lyrics. I'm the underground king, and I ain't been crowned. So this is oxymoron. Right here, he uses underground king because he's basically saying he's underground. He's a king. A king is synonymous with royalty and greatness, but underground represent something that's in the ground. Make a reference to him being he the diamond inside the dirt. Basically, he's at the bottom, but he's basically calling himself an underground king. So, which is it throw you off, like why he calling himself underground king? Why he just don't call himself the king? He said that for a reason. And I ain't been crowned. When I rhyme, something special happen every time. I'm the greatest, something like Ali in his prime. So this is where he uses a simile. He's comparing himself to Ali. Ali was considered the greatest boxer, and when he was in his prime, he was hard to beat. So basically, he's saying he's comparing his rap skills and himself to that. Yeah, this is pretty creative. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah, this is the last one, y'all. This is the last one. This right here is funny. This is a late 2000 song. I'm pretty sure we all heard this. It was very popular. I even danced to it. And I just nodded my head to it because the beat was nice. But when I actually sat down and thought about it, it wasn't that creative. But let's go into it. This is Chief Keef, Don't Like. Fake truths, that's the shit I don't like. Fake shoes, that's the shit I don't like. This is not the chorus. This is the verse. I'm gonna go over it. Fake truths, that's the shit I don't like. Fake shoes, that's the shit I don't like. Fake niggas, that's the shit I don't like. Stinking ass bitch, that's the shit I don't like. I don't get indicted. I done got indicted selling all white. So he uses figurative language, which is consonants in the long word again. SYNECDOCHE. He uses these two figurative language, but it's not creative at all. He just repeating the same thing all over again. So I'm gonna give him a 1 out of 5. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of Rate the Lyrics, Sosco's edition. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned from it, because when you listen to music, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all probably listen to it for entertainment. It's all good. We got our opinions based on music. But me, I like to sit down and actually go deep into the figurative language aspect of it. But if anybody like this video, like, subscribe, share it, and also put in the comments what song you would like me to break down further.